Hello everyone. So today we have Miss Renuka Singh with us. Renuka has got a lot of achievements to her back. She is currently pursuing her MBA from IIM Lucknow. Renuka had cleared her XAT as well as CAT exams with excellent scores, and she got the offer to join XLRI oblique IIM, and she chose to be a part of IIM Lucknow. Other than that, Renuka has got work experience. She's worked with Deloitte and she has also cleared her CA final exams. So, welcome to Education View 360, Renuka.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Renuka, we will move on to our question answer session. My first question to you is what is the difference between the XAT exam and the CAT exam? And please share some strategies with our children so that they can prepare for it effectively.
So basically, when we talk about both the exams, the concept-wise, the exam is similar because there is a quant which has been covered. There's DILR, which is the data reasoning and data interpretation, logical reasoning, which has been covered, and then there's an English part, which is basically we call it VARC. So the basic structure of both the exam is same. The only difference is that has an additional section which is decision making, which is included in the XAT, but it's not there in the CAT exam. The second is CAT. The level of difficulty in CAT, VARC, and DILR is tougher than XAT, whereas XAT is tougher on the quant side. So basically what I would suggest is go through the basic concepts first. This actually goes for all the exams of MBA. So basically they test students on two parameters. The first is how well have you understood the concept. It's not about how much formulas you've mugged up, it's how well you have taken up the concepts, and then how quickly and how wisely you can choose the questions, because they don't expect you to solve everything in that short span. They basically see how quick you are in decision making to pick good questions, do it, solve it, and get going. So basically my strategy, or what I did was, I can tell maybe people who are listening to me can modify it according to their needs. So what basically I did was, I did all the concepts first and got to the few questions. Then for 3 months I gave around 6 months, and for 3 months I was just giving tests. So I gave continuously tests, few sectional tests, then full-fledged tests. Around I gave more than 50-60 tests for all the three sections, and I think that really worked out for me. So basically try to give as many tests as possible, and more effective is when you go back and analyze those tests and see where you went wrong. And that is how you can actually the exams are not that difficult. It doesn't require, it's just 10th maths. It doesn't even ask you calculus and integration. So basically just do with the concepts and go on giving test again and again, and you'll come out with flying colors.
Thank you. So what I understand is, one, you said is your concepts have to be very strong. Second is that you write the test maybe in the exam scenario, time yourself. And third most important thing is the assessment. After the assessment, you go over the test and see where did you go wrong, and maybe then work on that concept again. Thank you so much. So please, you already shared the valuable tips. My next question is why, it's a very personal question, but then I must ask, because number of times students come across this dilemma. Why did you choose IIM over XLRI? You may have your personal reasons for this.
So basically, there are a few reasons of choosing IIM Lucknow over XLRI. First was the reason because both, if you see the rankings of any of the in any of the third party ranking, it's almost same at the same rank level. And XLRI and IIM Lucknow have the same legacy. It has been there with like established around the same year and has the same legacy. So it was a very difficult choice to make. So basically, the first thing which I considered was basically it was near to my home. So basically, IIM Lucknow is near to my home. That is one of the personal reasons I prefer to be near home. And the second reason is this, it's a very small reason. Maybe many people actually choose XLRI over IIM Lucknow also. There are many students who do that. So for me, the main reason was, I think, the ROI also, which I felt was because of the same placements, same academic level. Everything is very similar in both the colleges. Even the companies visiting the campus and the roles offered and the CTC offer, everything is almost at par. So then I went for the ROI option, but actually there is no difference between both the colleges. It's absolutely amazing to get into any one of it and just go for it.
Definitely. They both are the premier institutions of our country, which we are very proud of. Yes. So, Renuka, please throw some light on what's life like at IIM, and what should the aspirants expect once they get into any of the IIMs or B colleges?
Okay, one is the peer learning, which is, I think it's amazing if you get into college because these surroundings make you very competitive. They teach you a lot, and just take it in a positive way, because when everybody is 99 percentiler in your college, you can expect a lot of competition there because already the cream is in the college. So don't, so what I feel is people take too much pressure of it. Just don't take too much pressure of it. Learn the positives from it and enjoy, because I think you have also scored 99 and they have also no scored 99. You're not no less than them. So just enjoy the learnings. Professors are really good, few are just excellent. Teaching faculty, I just love it, the way they teach it. The subjects, you may not like few of the subjects, but that's okay. But I mean, it's like the entire feel of, though I'm doing it from home, obviously you people will obviously go into campus, so the campus life, the functions, the parties, okay, that's the thing of B school is amazing, and peer learning is, I think, amazing.
So I sincerely hope for you, at least very soon you should be on the college campus so that you get
even
of it.
even I'm hoping the same.
Yeah. So, Renuka, are the hostel facilities available, and is it readily available and sufficient?
It's sufficient because they have the count of the batch 500, and they have the rooms. You will get definitely single seater rooms and everything is fine. So yeah, that's not a problem.
And Renuka, your last question for the day is: do you have any suggestions in terms of should students take up MBA immediately after their undergraduation, or should they have some sort of work experience? Is it of advantage to them? How does it go?
So what I feel is, obviously this is my personal opinion. Just don't blindly follow it. What I feel was, if you have work ex, you actually understand how corporate works and where is your interest lying. So basically, maybe you have. So basically, many students are BTech. So you might not like the technical field and you want to switch. Then management is fine. Or if you're someone like a CA or a BCom grad, at least have 2-3 years of work ex. You'll understand, because Fin is a very wide. So, and when I talk about finance, it's very, very wide. If I can just name 12 domains like that, and you won't understand anything until you work in 1-2 domains. So what I feel is, and it becomes easy to get placements also, is a very important factor, because companies want people who have little experience, little background, and they get shortlisted first, which is the rude fact, but it's the fact that you get shortlisted because you have worked for 2-3 years. So I feel a little bit, just don't add degree as a badge just because it's from an IIM or something. Explore before actually getting, you want to do an MBA or not, or even if you want to do an MBA, you want to clear on the domain of which sort you want to do an MBA. So people fill everything. They'll fill HR, they'll fill agri business, they'll fill business management, anywhere you get into, just for the sake of the name. So don't do that. I feel you should explore enough to get into MBA. One more thing is, when you see US and developed countries, they have a requirement of 4 years of work ex before an MBA, because it makes more sense when you have an experience and you understand the importance of what has been taught in the class and how are the placements happening. So I feel it makes more sense to do it when you have an experience of 1-2 years. But it's also okay if you want to explore it as a fresher.
Absolutely perfect. I personally believe in that. You need to discover yourself first, find your passion and interest areas, and then maybe you can make a choice. There's no hurry.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Renuka, for sharing these insights with our students.
Anyone who wants to reach out to me can reach me out. I'm always available to answer. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anything. It's a pleasure to answer all the
That's a
questions.
wonderful offer from your end. Thank you so much. So I would request you to join the YouTube channel, because if any comments would come across, then you'll be
Sure.
the right person to answer that.